Good afternoon, SourceFed. My name is AdriZ. My channel name is Geek Girl with a Hat, as you can tell. Voila, hat. Okay, thank you, Suzaku, for that wonderful overreaction. Thank you. Anyway, so I decided to join your little movie club thing, and I sat down a couple days ago and watched
The Faculty.
a little bit of background information. I, for the most part, do not watch horror movies. I hate them. I'm easily scared. I only went to my first haunted house, actually right before I watched the movie, so for the most part, I'm kind of a wimp. The first time I watched that clip, I was about to hide under my bed and cower in fear. Luckily for me, this was not a scary horror movie. This was more suspense, which is actually more the way I like it. Overall, this was not a bad movie. It was very late 90s, but it wasn't bad. A couple of standout elements. The guest spot by Jon Stewart, of all people? What's up with that? But it was really weird seeing him in a serious role. Luckily, he actually did pretty good, and mild spoiler, he looked pretty awesome with the pencil sticking out of his eye. The only person I really recognized in the cast outside of Jon Stewart was the cheerleader newspaper girl. I know her as Jill from the show Chuck. Wow, I can't believe I didn't mention Elijah Wood. But then again, everybody mentions Elijah Wood. OMG Frodo! Sorry, I've never been a Lord of the Rings fangirl.
The students at Harrington High have...
When I first started the movie, I was really hoping it would end up being like the faculty goes off after everything else because the arts are being cut, because that's how the real world is, and I was hoping it'd be like Revenge of the Arts Teachers.
Fiction thriller.
But unfortunately, what did I get instead? I got the 90s Breakfast Club trying to fight off squid aliens.
Now, these 6 students won't just question authority.
I know a lot of people are going to say that this movie is a total ripoff of all of the classic horror movies, and yeah, it is. In fact, they're pretty acknowledging of that. I mean, the girl who's the punk girl who's like, oh, it's just like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That actually makes it a little bit more realistic, because if nobody said, wow, this is just like pop culture, it wouldn't make any sense. Now granted, it's not really supposed to be that realistic, but play with me. Initially, I thought there are way too many characters in this group. You know, you're never going to keep track of them. However, by the end, they all ended up taking a big part of the story. There were some really good plot twists that I definitely did not see coming. There were a couple that I did, particularly the big reveal at the end. I kind of did. However, the one right before that did actually surprise me, which, you know what, kudos for them. It's actually a really good movie when you think about the fact that it's directed by the guy who did the Spy Kids. Yeah. I thought the entire film was really well handled for being a okay script, and it actually turned out to be a pretty good movie. Really utterly forgettable, but it wasn't one that you walk out of there going, OMG, that sucked! But it wasn't weird. Actually, on top of that, it was weird. Seriously. Spoiler time? You're defeating the world through drugs. I mean, that's a great way to get kids to not take drugs. If you take drugs, you'll escape the alien invasion. Ah! Well, doesn't that sound awesome? Yeah. Way to help out the war on drugs. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this up and say, if you're bored, watch the movie. But if you're looking for a really good movie, don't watch The Faculty. That one's a, haha, this is stupid, and yet I love it type movie. For a lot of people, this will be nostalgia. It wasn't for me. If it's not nostalgia for you, you'll probably be like, meh, which is exactly what I was. So, Thank you for your time. This is actually my first video on this channel, so thank you for listening. Bye.
Please report to the principal's office.